Green Bay Packers quarterback Aaron Rodgers won his second straight MVP at the NFL Honors earlier this week. That brings his total to 4 in his career, despite the fact that he didn't even play the first 3 years of his career. Peyton Manning has the most with 5, so you kind of get an idea of what area of player of ranking he is getting into. It really is an incredible feat, considering the fact that this is now his second straight one after that follows, I think it's 4 straight years of consistently declining statistical productivity. He comes out this late in his career and wins 2 more. I mean, that's really remarkable. And I do want to congratulate him, although I'm sure he's looking at this as a bitter disappointment coming off of not even getting a playoff win despite being the number 1 seed, having home field advantage through the playoffs, and you are the clear-cut favorite to make it out of your conference and go to the Super Bowl. And he falls to a team, the San Francisco 49ers, who he's already lost to 3 times before losing this time. So now 4 times in a row he has lost to them in the playoffs. That's also, from what I understand, his favorite team growing up, so it's kind of his hometown team. So, I'm sure that doesn't feel good either. But Aaron Rodgers had, I mean, I have to give him credit. He had a very impressive regular season. The Green Bay Packers as a whole did. They led the league in wins this year, despite the fact that they had tons of controversy, tons of I guess, questions surrounding their season. Aaron Rodgers coming into the season, are they going to be back? Is he going to be back? We don't know. Comes out and lays a stinker against the Saints, has 2 interceptions. He would go on to only throw 2 more interceptions all year long. The COVID stuff, obviously, was very much a distraction. I think that really bogged them down for a while. But and they also had a pretty tough schedule. I mean, they beat the Rams convincingly. They went into Arizona and beat the Cardinals on a Thursday night in a game that they had no business winning. Half of all their starters were out, and Aaron Rodgers went in there. And I mean, again, that game was not very close. I know the Cardinals had a chance to win it at the end, so I guess you got to give them credit there. But the Packers were dominating that game. They were up 2 possessions in the fourth quarter, and the Cardinals just seemed like they were having a hard time keeping up all game long. So this was a very impressive regular season, and we have to be honest, the MVP is a regular season award. Voting for it happens after the regular season's over. The playoffs do not get included in any of it. And Aaron Rodgers and the Packers had a very impressive regular season, and it's made even more impressive, I think, when you look at the one game Aaron Rodgers missed, which was that game against the Chiefs. He was out with COVID. They didn't put up a single point without him. And so, I mean, it kind of it gave way to being able to say, man, Matt LaFleur, oh, I just dropped my pen, I'm sorry, but Matt LaFleur has yet to score a point without Aaron Rodgers. And I can't remember off the top of my head if he ended up, Jordan Love, scoring points against the Detroit Lions. I believe he did in that last game of the season. But you can understand they struggled without Aaron Rodgers, and they had the best the best regular season of probably any team in the league. So I get all that. And I know it sounds like I'm setting up to kind of explain why I think he won the award, but I do want to say, while I did believe for a while that Aaron Rodgers should have won this award, by the time the postseason had rolled around, I had my mind changed on it. I believe Tom Brady should have won this award. And I'm by no means a Tom Brady homer or anything. You know, you think of a lot of pundits out there that they just love Tom Brady or they hate Tom Brady. I don't really consider myself in either of those camps. I try to be a realist. I know, I mean, Jake being a realist. Oh, what's that mean? Yeah, I know it's a totally condescending thing to say, but I try to keep an even keel approach to what I think about these players. And I look at, I mean, you go back, and I went ahead and I looked back at all the winners of the MVP dating back to 2010. So that's 12 winners total, dating back to 2010, including Aaron Rodgers this year. 11 of those were quarterbacks. So we'll throw out Adrian Peterson's 2012 year when he almost broke Eric Dickerson's single season rushing record. Of those 11 quarterbacks that have won the award since 2010, 7 of them led the league in touchdowns and other statistical categories as well. And when you look at touchdowns this year, well, that went to Tom Brady. Aaron Rodgers had 40 total touchdowns, 37 passing, 3 rushing. Tom Brady had 43 passing. Yards. Oh, well, that was Tom Brady too. 5,300 yards to be exact. Over 5,000 yards. Just remarkable. Pass attempts and completions. Those also go to Tom Brady. I will give Aaron Rodgers credit. He had the efficiency stats. He was king, and he's always been king at that. I mean, he's got 300 plus touchdowns and less than 100 interceptions. There's only one other player that has more than 200 touchdowns and less than 100 interceptions. I mean, that's how far ahead Aaron Rodgers is in terms of being efficient. He's even been criticized to that extent because he sometimes will just throw the ball away without trying to, see what he can do. But Aaron Rodgers, he led the league in passer rating and quarterback rating, and he also beat out Tom Brady in completion percentage, even though Joe Burrow did take home that title. So I don't want to pretend like, when I say I think Tom Brady should have won, I don't want to pretend like Aaron Rodgers wasn't without merit winning it. He was definitely within the conversation. But it's interesting because when you look at when you look at this year and you look at it compared to other years, the 4 years that the player who won it that didn't lead the league in touchdowns, they all kind of have a similar trend. 2014, Aaron Rodgers wins it despite Andrew Luck leading the league in touchdowns. 2016, Matt Ryan wins it despite Aaron Rodgers leading the league in touchdowns. And then in 2017, Tom Brady wins it despite Russell Wilson leading the league in touchdowns. All of these years, for one reason or another, there was never a clear-cut winner as to who should win the MVP. We would get to the middle of these seasons and it would kind of be like, well, man, this race is wide open. Usually by the time you get to the midpoint of the season, there's 2, maybe 3 guys that have really separated themselves. And this year, that was not the case. That was not how it was. And that's similar to 2017 when Carson Wentz was going to be the favorite. He was going to win it, and he gets hurt, and it kind of takes him out of the running. The year before, in 2016, Matt Ryan wins it. We were all sitting around looking, well, who's going to win it? Is it going to be Tom Brady? Is it going to be Derek Carr, who ended up breaking his leg towards the end of the year, and that kind of took him out? And Matt Ryan has a historic last month in the NFL. The offense for the Atlanta Falcons that year, going into the last month, was historic, so they went ahead and gave him the award. And then in 2014, Andrew Luck, I think I've already mentioned this, but Andrew Luck led the league. Aaron Rodgers ends up winning it, and in hindsight, I think Andrew Luck probably should have won the MVP that year, but I digress. When you look at Aaron Rodgers this year, he fits into that trend. Again, 37 touchdowns, 40 total to Tom Brady's 43. And also, I think when you look at even last year, I mean, Aaron Rodgers, he fits in the category of the majority. He led the league in touchdowns, 51 total touchdowns. That's an MVP. I mean, you have 50 plus touchdowns, you're the MVP, no questions asked. But I really get the feeling that this year Aaron Rodgers won it, and the main reason he won it was because of his interceptions. And again, I'm not going to take it away. Like, it was amazing. And I understand that they had a very impressive regular season, and I give him all that. But I just think when you look at the precedent, I think when you look at how it's been decided, I think touchdowns are king. And I think that's been the main indicator. And I think any year that hasn't happened, it's because we've gotten a mixed bag of, well, it kind of could be anybody. The race is wide open. And this year was no different. There was no separation this year. Tom Brady looked like he was going to be the favorite. And then we get to the last month of the year, and Aaron Rodgers kind of starts separating himself because of that efficiency argument. And again, I don't want to take it away. I think he was in the running for it for sure. He had the statistics to back up that running, but I just don't want to get it confused. I really think he won this because he was the most efficient quarterback. And on Speak for Yourself, Emmanuel Acho and Marcellus Wiley have a phenomenal discussion about this, where they talk about how, since when does efficiency win you this award? Since when does efficiency win you an award in anything? Efficiency only really matters when there's no clear-cut winner in terms of productivity. But in terms of productivity, touchdowns, yards, pass attempts, and completions, the quarterback who did the most this year, it was Tom Brady. And so for me, again, I'm no Tom Brady homer, but I think I would have given the award to Tom Brady this year. No disrespect to Aaron Rodgers. He had a hell of a season. It was a very roller coaster of a year. It was controversial, a lot of distractions, and he hung in there. Ultimately didn't get it done, and I know that's disappointing for him. But I think this year, I don't know. It feels hard for me to argue. I think it should have gone to Tom Brady.